I still remember the sound of mothers screaming in the dark. Not prayers, not songs, just fear. Bethlehem had never sounded like that before. The streets felt cursed that night. People were running without knowing where to go. Doors slammed shut across the city. And somewhere nearby, soldiers were coming. I held my son against my chest and listened carefully. Even the wind sounded dangerous. Nobody knew who would be next. If these stories stay with you, stay a little longer. Some memories were never meant to disappear. Take a moment to leave a like. It helps these forgotten voices reach more people. And tell me in the comments, which part of this journey impacted you the most? And if you want to continue walking these ancient paths with us, witnessing moments that history almost forgot, subscribe and join us. There are still more witnesses waiting to tell their stories. My name does not matter anymore. Most people in Bethlehem never knew who I was. I worked with wood and stone, simple doors, simple tables, simple life. I was not important, but I was there that night. And I survived long enough to remember it. My son had just learned how to laugh. That laugh still follows me. Back then, Bethlehem was small. Dusty streets, crowded markets, quiet mornings. People talked about taxes more than prophecy. But then strangers arrived from the east. Rich men, quiet men, watching everything. They asked dangerous questions. Questions about a child. Questions about a king. That was the beginning. Soon, rumors spread through every corner of the city. Some whispered about signs in the heavens. Others spoke about ancient promises returning. But most people were afraid to talk openly, especially after Herod heard the rumors. Fear changed people quickly. You could feel it in the markets. Men lowered their voices when soldiers passed nearby. Women stopped gathering outside after sunset. Even children became quieter. Something was coming. Everybody felt it. But nobody understood how cruel it would become. One night, I woke to distant shouting. At first, I thought it was drunken fighting. Then I heard pounding against doors, heavy boots striking stone roads. My wife looked at me without speaking. She already knew. I moved toward the window carefully. Torches were everywhere. Roman steel reflected through the smoke. And mothers were screaming. Not far from our home, a soldier carried a child. I still hate that memory. My son started crying beside me. Too loud, far too loud. My wife covered his mouth gently, but her hands were shaking. Then someone began pounding on a nearby door. Wood cracked loudly in the night. A woman begged for mercy. Nobody answered her. I remember the silence afterward. That silence terrified me more than the screams. And this is where everything became real. Herod was not searching for families. He was hunting fear itself. A prophecy had frightened a king. And now innocent children were paying the price. I looked at my son again. His eyes were wide open. He did not understand death yet. Maybe that was mercy. I grabbed blankets and moved toward the back door. Every sound outside felt closer now. A neighbor ran past our house barefoot. There was blood on his clothing. He kept repeating the same words. They are taking the boys. Again and again. They are taking the boys. Fear spread faster than fire. People pushed through narrow streets in panic. Some carried children. Some carried nothing at all. Smoke drifted across the rooftops. Dogs barked wildly somewhere nearby. And above all of it, babies crying. I prayed without words that night. Only breath, only desperation. I remember hiding beneath a storage shelter outside town. Cold dirt pressed against my knees. My wife held our son beneath her cloak. We barely dared to breathe. Then we heard horses nearby. Closer, closer. Then silence again. Nobody moved. Hours passed like years, and somewhere beyond the hills, Bethlehem mourned. By morning, the city no longer felt alive. Smoke climbed slowly into the pale sky. Some fathers searched the streets in shock. Others carried tiny wrapped bodies home. Nobody looked each other in the eyes anymore. Grief had changed the city forever. I remember walking carefully through the market road. Everything felt abandoned. A sandal beside a doorway. Broken pottery in the dust. Blood near the well. And silence everywhere. That silence never truly left me. People blamed Herod. Others blamed prophecy itself. But deep inside, everyone asked the same question. Who was this child that terrified a king? What kind of future could frighten a throne? Years passed after that night. My son grew older. But Bethlehem never forgot the screams. Sometimes, travelers brought strange stories from Nazareth. Stories about a quiet young boy, a carpenter's son. Nothing unusual at first, but people kept remembering him. And somehow, that frightened me again. Because kings do not massacre children without reason. And some destinies refuse to stay hidden forever. There are the more stories still waiting in the shadows. More witnesses who saw what history almost erased. And next time, you will hear about the boy from Nazareth, the one who seemed ordinary, until people started noticing things they could not explain. If this memory stayed with you, you already understand why. Leave your voice below. And if you choose to walk these forgotten roads with me, stay close. There is still more to witness.